there, everybody. It's Dave here, and welcome to Two Old Bloggers. And as you can see, it's just me. Oh, well, that's it. I want to welcome everybody that's here already. We've got the Drewster. Hey, Drew. And let's see who else is here. Peter's here. Good to see you, Peter. Raymond's here. SKOL Mafia. Hey, Dave, I hope you're doing well. Chuck's here. And everybody is all happy. As you can see, I got my SKOL Fest t-shirt today, and I'm proudly repping the Purple Gang. Want to give them some love, even though I cannot be there for, game week 2 of the regular season to celebrate in SKOL Fest. I am supporting, and I will be there in spirit. Now, we're going to dive into 3 themes today, just as normal. We're going to talk about the joint practice, some of the takeaways from there. We're going to talk about the game, how both Darren and I reacted, and Darren is partaking in this show in the form that he's done notes, which I've mangled and abused. We're going to talk about the game, and then we're going to talk about this week in Vikingsland and the news that's come across the wire on some of our favorite subjects there. So let's get it going. It's time for Two Old Bloggers. Let's rock. Vikings First and SKOL presents This Week in Vikingsland with Darren and Dave, your 2 old bloggers. And here we are once again. Now, everybody asks, where's Darren? Well, Darren's on vacation, of course. But right this second, I believe he's right about here. He's in the middle of flying across Canada. And by what do I mean by flying across Canada? He is literally going from the left coast to the right coast. And I wish him well. He's airborne. Hopefully he has Wi-Fi on his airplane and can be listening to this or watching this at the same time. But we'll find out. We'll get the post-show, action report probably at a later date. And he'll tell me, Dave, you screwed up my notes. Well, too bad there, buddy. You snooze, you lose. All right. And that's the way it is. Now, like I said before, I'm repping the SKOL Fest shirt. I won't be there, but I will be there in spirit, and I want to support. And so let's get this rolling. And speaking of SKOL Fest, I see Mr. Rapp is in the building. All right, now on to theme 1. The joint practices. Here we go. Vikings hit 2 key milestones this week. They had joint practices with the Patriots, and then that led into what is theme 2, the preseason game. Now, the 2 joint practices I thought went well, especially day 2 of them. Head coach Kevin O'Connell confirmed that J.J. McCarthy would sit out the Patriots game. And he did. And as I was telling Drewster off the air, he had over 60 reps each day of those. So that's quite a workload. That's a normal game load. Now, did he have the full speed hit you and smash you and beat you up reps? No, they couldn't do that. So he can't build the calluses. But the whole full speed 11-on-11s type of deal, and anywhere from 1-on-1s to 7-on-7, 11-on-11s, went swimmingly. And he was rocking it, which I think is great. So let him have yesterday off. I think it was perfectly fine. Now, the Patriots didn't go that way. Oh, no. They were pissed off. Their coach was, so he made the starters start. And they played the first two series. And it showed against the Vikings. But, hey, it is what it is. And so that's what we do. Now, will the team be ready? Will J.J. McCarthy be ready for Chicago on September 8th, Monday Night Football, as we open up against the Bears? And I think so. I was listening to our gal, Courtney Cronin, earlier this morning, and she talks about how Caleb Williams, they set markers for him, goals to reach. And one of those is 70% passing completion rate. She said, so far this camp, his highest rate is 55%. 55. J.J. McCarthy went 17 for 20, baby, hitting the last 12 in a row. There's a big difference there. So I think he'll be ready, but we'll see. We still have training camp officially this week, even though it's not open to the public, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think it is. Or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then after that, we have the preseason game against the Titans, and then they go into regular season mode, but they'll have 2 weeks to do it. So we'll see. I want to welcome everybody that's rolling in. We have Mark. We have, let's see, who else? Death Rosenstock, yes. Alan Wheats, yes. G-Mac's here, my buddy G-Mac. Ruby's here. Cool. All right. Angel Dutz. It is good to see. Now, if I missed you, I apologize. I will try to keep up, but it's a one-man show today, so it's not quite as simple as it normally is when I can rest and work the comments board while Darren is going on about what he thought of the week. Now, Darren's a little worried, and I know Drewster is too, about his NFL game time experience. The level is low. You got a low-level light, and it's blinking. It's low. We'll see, though, if it matters. We'll talk about it later when we get to the QB battle, and we talk about Max Brosmer, and whether he should be moving up the board. Talking about pro-level experience being low. But the issue with accuracy is what Darren's worried about. You know, Darren's the worrier. I'm the optimistic guy. He's worried about his accuracy. I'm seeing it come in and in and in and in. It's getting better and better and better. And like I said, 17 for 20, hey, I'll take that completion percentage any day of the week. And that's without Justin Jefferson. Hey, and you know, all you got to do is throw it in the right zip code and JJ's going to come down with it. So I think it's encouraging signs for J.J. McCarthy. I think we're rocking and rolling. I am not worried one little bit. Are you? Are those watching worried about JJ's? Whether he's going to be in sync, whether he's going to be on target, all that sort of stuff, which I think has been demonstrated so far, but just not in front of our eyeballs, not in front of a big screen, not on ABC. But we'll wait. We'll see. I think so. Aaron says JJ's ability to improvise is super, and he's super smart. And he says that he's the most accurate QB. That's his goal. I think that's fantastic. Everybody, we all talked about how Harrison Phillips talked about, he reminds him of Josh Allen when Josh Allen came to the Bills. Drew can attest to this because we were doing Good Morning Gallahorn at the time. When we were looking at Josh Allen, we saw a lot of traits we liked, but he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. He could throw the country mile. He had the arm, but he couldn't. Did he get it dialed in? Oh, yes, he did. I'm seeing JJ getting dialed in a little bit faster than Josh Allen, and we'd all take Josh Allen. But we'll see. SKOL Mafia's not worried. Figbeller, QB rookie, JJ hamstring. Wide receiver hamstring, all season bad news. Well, we'll see there, buddy. We'll get into the injury report here in a little bit. So, other observations from joint practice. Bleh. Not enough whiskey yet. I need to take a drink. Give me a break. That's another thing I can do with Darren's here, is drink more. Sean says he likes what? The idea of Flores and KOC planning for the Bears in 26 days. Oh, you and me both, brother. You and me both. Now, other observations was Jeff Okudah has solidified himself as cornerback 3. I think that's without a doubt. He did it so much that he was given the day off yesterday. Didn't even suit up for the game. So good for him. Donovan Jackson, our rookie left guard, a big round belly. It's going to be fun to watch. Is he going to make mistakes? Yeah, I'm sure he will. But you got to love the way he just obliterated people on the screen, where he took out 2 Patriots basically in about 2 steps, pancaked them both. And then on another rep, he chipped, passed off to Kelly, didn't have anybody rushing him, and then helped SKOL by obliterating the edge that was beating SKOL. So, hey, I'm looking forward to it. So, we'll find out. But those, Jeff Okudah and Donovan Jackson, have improved, and neither one of them played because they are firmly on that first team. And if you want to count 3 cornerbacks as the first team, Jeff Okudah's it. And we'll get into Mekhi Blackmon a little bit later. The only roster intrigue heading into the final preseason game and roster cuts, which is, I think, August 26th, I believe, is the cutoff date, but I may be wrong on that, is for Darren, is Sam Howell a backup QB, i.e. the QB2? We'll talk about that a little bit more later, because that's a great question, Darren. Is he that? And also, who will be the number 3 wide receiver against Chicago? Will it be Lucky Jackson, Ty Felton, or somebody currently not on the roster? Is it time to get worried about our wide receiver depth room? Good questions. We'll get into that. Who's the number 3 tight end? Anybody's guess. Is it Vanette? Is it Yursek? Is it Bennett? It's surely not Bartholomew. He hasn't taken a snap all offseason. I suspect he's going to be stuck on the PUP or IR for the rest of the season. Hey, Gary, good to see you, my brother. Thank you. I think it's a great-looking shirt, Gary. SKOLFest 25. People ask, what is SKOLFest, Dave? SKOLFest is a gathering of content providers like RAPZ and Vocal Vike, his show, with a bunch of others that get together and they have a party the night before the home opener. And they are doing it again this year. I will have to dig out the flyer to show you guys here a little bit later, but I'm supporting them. I hope to make it one year. I want to meet my brother Gary, but we'll see. Good to see you, Blood Eagle. Now, Darren writes, a quick shout out to Donovan Jackson. I love reading that he pancaked 2 Patriots defensive backs on a screen pass to Aaron Jones, during Thursday's joint practice. That's the kind of nastiness that has been missing from the Vikings offensive line for years. Oh, yes, it is, Darren. Yes, it is. And it looks like we've got a screen game. Yeah, buddy. And on that wheel route to Aaron Jones that took it to the house, that was sweet. That was one of J.J. McCarthy's favorite throws of the day, and good for him. But as for the joint practices, I thought they went well. First day, Wednesday, was not as smooth an operation, but I thought the Vikings basically came out on top. And then Thursday, they destroyed them. Looking at what the Patriots beat writers said, they basically got a butt whooping. Good. They're supposed to be decent. They beat the Washington team, scoring like 44 points in week one. Now, it's week one of preseason, but hey, it is what it is. So, that's what I thought, or what Darren thought and I thought of those joint practices. They're a good thing to do. Coaches can control things a little bit more, do situations a little bit more, put them in 2-minute drills, and they can keep the quarterbacks a little bit healthy because we do not want to lose our starting quarterback this year. No team does. None. So, we'll see. Well, that brings us to theme 2. Vikings versus Patriots, preseason game 2. Our reaction. Now, first off, let's recap. Vikings lost 20-12. It's preseason. With starters like J.J. McCarthy, Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, virtually all the starting defense, all sitting on the sidelines in shorts and T-shirts. Hey, no biggie. Mafia says SKOL Fest is free, too. Cool. All you got to do is RSVP. That I do know. Bulldog says they can't believe they signed Bradbury. Don't they care about an investment in Drake May? That was a heck of a play. Yes, it was. And I'm trying to remember who it was. It wasn't Taki. It was one of our interior defensive linemen. One-armed pushed him back. That's sweet. All right, scoring summary. First quarter, Patriots took a 7-0 lead with an 8-yard TD run by rookie running back Travion Henderson after a punt to midfield. Now, Travion Henderson looks like he's going to be a good running back in this league. Second quarter, Vikings quarterback Sam Howell threw an interception, and it was absolutely miserable. It was pathetic, unfortunately. But the Patriots failed to score on a 4th and goal from the 5. They were held by our number 2 defense. Well, at this time, I don't know if the twos were probably still in. And you got to remember, in the first quarter, it was Patriots 1s versus our 2s. Failed to score on 4th and goal from the 5. New England extended the lead to 14-0 with a 12-yard TD pass from Josh Dobbs, the pastronaut, to rookie wide receiver Efton Chisholm. Vikings missed 5 tackles. Then came in quarterback Brett Rippon, led a drive for 34 yards and another Will Reichard field goal. Will Reichard was absolutely the star of the game for us. He was 4 for 4, didn't miss a thing. Absolutely beautiful. And then Max Brosmer comes in. He completed his first 5 passes, setting up a 54-yarder for, again, Will Reichard to be money on, which was good. Blood Eagle, yeah, Josh Dobbs picked our defense apart. It was bad. And Aaron, yes, horrible tackling, without a doubt. And then it came to the fourth quarter. Patriots kicker John Parker Romo, formerly of the Vikings, hit a 28-yarder to make it 17-6. Will Reichard answered with a 47-yarder. Again, Will the Thrill has been perfect this preseason in games. A 51-yard field goal by Patriots kicker Bregelis, something like that. They've got a kicking competition, made it 20-9. And then wide receiver Myles Price's 81-yard kickoff return. Myles Price, our guy, set up a 27-yarder from Will Reichard to make it 20-12. And that's where it starts to get fun. Max Brosmer's final drive to reach the Patriots' 13-yard line. He went in there, was dinking and dunking and hitting passes all the way downfield, looked sharp, made good decisions, made good throws. And I suggest you go look on X or wherever and look down at some film breakdowns. He was leading receivers when they were covered to where they were open and getting receptions before they even looked at him. It was a thing of beauty. He's very good. He's got fast eyes, a fast mind. And KOC seems to love him. But he got all the way down to the 13. Threw a pass to Myles Price again. Only Price didn't look for it. It would have been a touchdown. Then he ended up throwing an interception at the end. And that was the game. But they had a chance to tie it up, which would have been cool. Now, team stats for the game. Patriots had 312 yards. Vikings had 284. Passing yards. Vikings 204 between Howell, Rippon, and Brosmer combined. Patriots 198. Rushing yards 114 for the Pats, 3.8 yards, and the Vikings 80 for 3.2 yards. Turnovers, Vikings 2, interception by Howell and Brosmer. Patriots 0. Come on, defense, you got to get those turnovers. Penalties, Vikings 10. That was horrible for 85 yards. And that had KOC pissed off. And if you were watching from a subscription feed like NFL Plus, like I was, they did not bleep out KOC's "fuck it" statement. Pardon my French, and I'm going to have to bleep this out on live TV. So it was pretty cool. He was not happy in the third quarter, but it was good watching him get on with PA and the gang to talk what's happening. Was absolutely brilliant and is very, very insightful, and I liked it. I hope they do more of it, or wish they could do more of it. Now, Sean says he would like to see Brosmer play the first half versus Tennessee with the twos, just to prove to him he's not the second best QB on our team. Or is he? I'm getting that impression too there, buddy. Now, for passing, and I'm behind on my graphics, way behind. Sam Howell was 1 for 5, 13 yards and 1 interception. Brett Rippon did better. He was 7 for 11 and 83 yards. And then, of course, Brosmer was 12 for 20, 120 yards and the interception. Rushing. Here we go. Zavier Scott, 10 carries, 28 yards. We get to Ty Chandler, And he had a grand total of 3 carries for 12 yards. Yay. Ruby says hi. And whoever gifted GMAC a membership, thank you very, very much. We appreciate it here. That's great. Now, when it comes to who's going to get that RB3 slot, we'll get into that. RB3 slot, we'll get into that shortly. Defense, or receiving, Tim Jones had 5 catches, 68 yards. Not bad for the wide receiver 5'6". Jashaun Jones had 4 catches for 39. Zavier Scott, 3 catches for 44, and should have had another one for a touchdown. Jennifer did. All right, cool. Thank you, Jennifer. Ty Felton had 2 catches for 32 yards. Myles Price, 2 catches for 11. Myles was the one who dropped the deal. And Nick Van Nett, 2 catches for 21 yards. Not bad for a elderly tight end we just brought in a little over a week ago. Lucky Jackson had 1 catch for 9 yards and 2 drops. The drops, he's just got to stop, guys. Just letting you know, it's got to stop. There's been way too much from wide receiver 3 on down. Now, defense, I told you I'd talk about Mekhi Blackmon. Mekhi Blackmon played, I think, 55 snaps. And he allowed deep passes. He did not look good. I saw his PFF score today. It was miserable. And where was it? I was listening to something this week, and they just think he's lost his mojo. Blackmon's lost his mojo due to the injury. He hasn't come back. He hasn't been as aggressive as he was when he was a rookie. Maybe that's so. Maybe he needs to just slam into somebody and get up and go, I can do this again, and flip that switch. But, Drew, I'll get to the what the hell's going on with Hal. Now, special teams, Will Reichard, I covered 4 for 4. Beautiful. He's perfect in preseason. Good. Let's keep it that way. No 70-yarders, but hey, it is what it is. We'll take it. Oscar Chapman, the battle of the punters between Oscar Chapman and Mr. Wright. Chapman had 2 punts, 52.4-yard average, 48-yard net. Pretty good. It was better than Mr. Wright's day. Myles Price had an 81-yard kick return. It was beautiful. Wish he'd gone all the way. And then he also had 2 punt returns. One was very, very good, and the other one was decent, more than 8.5 yards, or for an average of 16.5 yards. Ty Felton, who's most likely going to be one of 2 kick returners, had a kick return fumble, recovered, and a punt return fair catch. Right now, I'm envisioning Myles Price making the squad as a special teamer, and of course, we know Ty Felton will. Now, roster battles. This is the point I really was looking for. 53-man roster will be down August 26th or 27th. We've got to get down. Who is going to be QB2? Will it be Sam Howell, Mr. Rippon, or Mad Max? It's going to come down to next week. I'm curious to see who does which. I looked at it as rising. Brett Rippon's rising in the ranks. He had a decent 7 for 11 drill. They were all short dinks and dunks. Nothing downfield for anything. Max Brosmer, he had some good throws. Quick throws. 28-yard dime. He was praised by Kevin O'Connell. Like I said, Kevin O'Connell likes him. Max Brosmer, I think, has made this team. Now, the question is, in what capacity? Will they make him a QB2? Darren and I got into this morning and said, hey, all right, first off, God and Odin forbid J.J. McCarthy goes down with an injury. Can Max Brosmer, pardon me, got to get used to saying Brosmer, win you football games? Have we seen enough on how he handles the field with the 3s and the 4s to say he can win you football games? Is his traits how well he throws the football, where he's looking, how he reads his reads? Are they fast enough? How well he processes all that? Does he have the ability to win football games under Kevin O'Connell? I would say yes, he does. All right. Now, does he have more ability to win games under Kevin O'Connell than either Brett Rippon or Sam Howell? Or take a third quarterback yet to be named. Vikings could very well wait, till everybody's released from teams and say, hey, all right, we'll get this guy. Or as Drew says, find the mummified husk of Sean Mannion. He's a coach up in Green Bay. But could he? I think he could. That's Dave's opinion. Dave's opinion thinks he could. KOC talks about how he and J.J. McCarthy have basically bonded and how they drive each other. It's a competitiveness, and they spark ideas in each other, and they keep asking more and more and more and more. I like that sort of competition in the room. That would be cool. Or that sort of chemistry. Did you see this? I saw this. Try this next time. Do this. That was fantastic. Way to go. Things like that. So, Kinetic says he thinks Hal Rippon can be a better QB2 option this year, but after this year, Brosmer would be the better option. He thinks Brosmer should be practice squad. I don't think he makes the practice squad. I think there's too many teams out there would say, no, he's better than anybody we've got. Snag him. But that, like I said, that's Dave's opinion. Dave is often wrong. But I believe Brosmer is a better option as of now. Now, do we find somebody? Do they trade for somebody? We'll find out. If Josh Dobbs is available, do you want Josh Dobbs over Max Brosmer? Take Josh Dobbs. And he's not going to be available. He's the backup for Drake May. I don't know. G-Max says, ask yourself how many games each QB would win if they started 17 games. I don't think Howell or Rippon win 5 games. I agree with you, G-Mac. Exactly. I think Brosmer can at least win with the crew. And you've got to remember, if he's playing for J.J. McCarthy, he's got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Mason, the whole crew will be there. But I'm as conventional as they can get. conventional wisdom says, no, you do not put a rookie quarterback out there, especially an undrafted one. Are you stupid? But is he better than the other two? That's from what I've seen, and I've watched both games, and I've watched the tape. I like this kid. And he is 2 years older than J.J. McCarthy, which is weird. But, hey. Drew asked, how do I feel about a trade for Drew Lock? I don't know. Is it worth it? Maybe. It's interesting. So, Anthony says, Rosemer's the best QB2 currently in the room. And I'm thinking that. So, hey, it is what it is. Now, moving off the QBs. Let's get to the running backs. We know Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason are RB1s and RB2s. And you could flip them either way. I don't care. I think this is going to be closer to a 50-50 split with both of those guys this year. And I think they're both uber talented and will do well. And maybe by the end of the year, Mason will be the primary back. But we'll see. When it comes to RB3, Zavier Scott has had two very, very good games. 28 yards, 48 yards receiving. He's explosive per KOC. Ty Chandler, on the other hand, 12 yards on 3 carries. Okay. Zavier Scott's versatility, pass catching, because he was a receiver first and then became a running back. And he can kick return, which gives him the edge. I would think. I think Zavier Scott's made this team. And unfortunately, Ty Chandler, another player from the 2022 draft class, will go bye-bye. That's what I have for the running back room. Those three, and then throw in, of course, your fullback. C.J. Ham. Unless they get rid of C.J. Ham. Doubtful, but we'll see. Wide receiver 5 and 6. Who's rising? Myles Price. He had the 81-yard kick return. I think Price has made it as our special teamer, as our kick and punt returner. Flat and simple. So his stock's rising. We haven't had somebody do that in a while. So, hey, make the team. Falling, Lucky Jackson. He had 2 drops, including a red zone killer. Ty Felton, he had his fumble. Come on, Ty. You're a rookie. You're going to make the team, but come on, Ty. You're getting better. I've heard throughout camp and throughout the joints that Ty Felton's getting better. That's good. We want to see improvement. Keep getting better. Make that march up that hill. Silas Bolden, he's had minimal impact. We, of course, know about Rondale Moore. He's done for the season. I saw a picture. He had knee surgery. Still won't tell us what was broken there. I think it was ACL, but he had knee surgery. Now, for tight end 3, we have Nick Vanette. He may be it. We have Bryson Nesbitt, who's a better pass. There's the pass-catching type. We have Ben Urasek, who I've liked. And we have Giovanni Ricci, who's had some good signs, but he's also listed as a fullback. We'll see how it goes. And then Gavin Bartholomew's out for a back injury, and it's supposedly getting worse. Not good. Pardon me while I take a drink. All right. Blood Eagle says Price is a lock. Aaron says he wouldn't trust Bolden when it comes to ball security. I agree. All right. Cornerback, rising, falling, mixed. Mekhi Blackman, he had 55 snaps, a lot of deep pass. Then there's Khalif Halassi. I keep wanting to say Halisi, but it's Halassi or Halassi. Since they moved him to safety, and he's got the dual, he can play cornerback or safety, he's done pretty good. He might be, I think he's going to definitely make the practice squad. Whether he makes the team, that's a good question. Mekhi Blackman, I think they're just waiting for that spark to come back. But if he doesn't come back, he's in danger of losing it. All right, defensive line. Rising, Tyrion Ingram Dawkins. And I think Tyron, I keep wanting to say Tyrion, as in Game of Thrones, but it's actually Tyron Ingram Dawkins. I think he was the one that did the one-arm shove. The center back. Bo Richter, he's doing extremely well, did well yesterday as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who they keep. We've got a good depth on the defensive line. I really, really like that depth. We'll see. And you can guarantee next week when Darren is here, we're going to do our 53-man roster prediction. So we get it before cut down. Drew says Nesbitt's drops probably killed him. Yeah, probably. We'll see. Now, special teams, Will Reichard, money. Price, he's our returner front runner. And Oscar Chapman held on 3 of the 4 kicks yesterday. If he's holding, there means there's a real competition. I could see him beating out Ryan Wright. Now, if they keep Wright, they can also keep Chapman because he's the international dude, and they can him out without counting. So, but I think Oscar Chapman, he's punting better, and he's got a variety of punt styles, the banana ball, the this ball, the that ball. And you saw the Patriots punt receiver going, which I like. Make the opposite team confused. It's a good thing. We're going to see. Key takeaways from yesterday's game: Myles Price, special team, yes. Zavier Scott's versatility, yes. Should give him RB3. And Tim Jones and Jashwan Jones boost their chances. Lucky Jackson and Ty Felton hurt theirs with drops and fumbles. Gotta get rid of the drops, guys. When you're sneaking in your smelling salts, which is not sneaking, you can bring them. Sneak in a little stick 'em. Us older types remember stick 'em. Shit worked. All right. But that's my reaction from yesterday's game. Other than that, it was mostly sloppy and boring. But I love seeing how everybody interacted and reacted and stuff like that. I'll get a better look at the linemen this week when I look at the film. So, on to theme 3. This week in Vikingsland. All right, we're going to start off first with Brian Flores' update. Mr. Flores won his appeal. I don't know if it's appeal or it's appellate level court. Drew wants to see the Pats returner's face again. Which is big news for his, and then basically the court says the civil lawsuit can go on against the NFL, the Giants, Texans, and Broncos for allegedly racial discrimination. And we'll see how that goes. From a Vikings perspective, this is great news. Why? As long as that lawsuit is active, it's unlikely an NFL team will sign him as a head coach. If they do, I'll bet it's part of a settlement. And it won't go all the way. Won't go to the massive trial where the NFL could get raked over to coals and pay him a lot of money. He's going to get a lot of money, I think, either way, but even more money. But as long as it's active, he's going to be our defensive coordinator, which I think is freaking outstanding. So, pardon my language today. Now, Darren is also worried about, in this week in Vikingsland, Ryan Kelly's health. The old man, the drill instructor that plays center for J.J. McCarthy. He's worried about his durability. As you can see in this picture, and this was joint practices, he had his arm taped up, and he's been dealing with an elbow issue. I think he's going to be fine when the games go, but we'll see. Darren, like I said, is the worrier, so he worries. He's like your mom, in some respects. But at 32, he's missed 10 games over the past 2 seasons. Durability is a concern. Yes, Darren, I agree. We'll see how it goes. And we've got Juergens behind him. We'll see. And Juergens, I think, has been getting better as this camp has gone on. But Ryan Kelly's intelligence and leadership is critical for helping J.J. McCarthy. And losing him would be a big loss, I would think, just because of his smarts and been around, seen everything. But as of right now, he's good to go. He's a go. He has no injuries that's going to keep him from playing. He may be banged up a little bit. He's up there in age. I'm sure he steps out of bed and goes, ow. But it is what it is. Injuries from the joint practice. Josh Metellus suffered some sort of shoulder deal. But it was supposedly minor. He was out signing autographs afterwards and wasn't in a sling. We'll see how it goes this week. The other one, however, Mr. Jalen Nailor. Coach said he jammed his hand, and he was asked about it yesterday even. He jammed his hand. Hey, Jay, how you doing? Is there any more details? Nope, he jammed his hand. We're still evaluating. 2 days, 3 days on, still evaluating. That sends up red flags to me. You would know by now. What are you trying to keep secret, Mr. Kevin O'Connell? Is there major damage? Broken bones? Torn ligaments? Nerve damage? Question mark. Why aren't you telling us? Should be simple. I'm sure you took him in that afternoon, if not the next day, to have it MRI'd, X-rayed, whatever. We'll see. Hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully it'll be out there this week, catching. We'll see. I don't know. It worries me. It worries me, especially in the first 3 weeks of the season, because he was firmly the wide receiver 3. And as we all know, Jordan Addison will be out the first 3 weeks due to suspension. I'm worried about the wide receiver depth. And I disagree with my buddy Tyler, who says, wide receiver room's fine, Dave. I disagree, buddy. But we do that sometimes. But we'll see. Hopefully, Jalen Nailor's hand will be okay. And yes, you need both hands to play wide receiver. You could actually use a third one to help catch, not drop the ball. Anyways. The last item was Darren wanted to talk about the release of Brian Asamoah. Another one off the 2022 draft class. The Vikings released him early in the week. They did it, I think it was as a class move so that he could get picked up real early. Since we're down to the only one cut down day and the market's flooded versus where before we used to have up to 3 cut downs where they'd give up, 5 or 10 the first one and then another 10 and then everybody. They released him and he was picked up same day by Tennessee, which is good for Brian Asamoah. He's got talent, just not for our system. He was drafted for a Vic Fangio, Ed Donatel style system. We don't play that. So he's gone. And that just, hey, I wish him well. I hope he does well in Tennessee, just as long as they're not playing us. But did he fail Minnesota or did Minnesota fail him? It's just, one of those things. It's, you move on. Sort of like linemen. I'll bring it back to this. We got Dalton Risner. Played a very, very different style of guard than Ed Ingram. Ed Ingram was, I'm going to punch you in the face. Dalton Risner was, I'm going to absorb and absorb and absorb as much as I can until you beat me. Both can work. Both can fail. Both did fail. But it's different style. And I think Brian Asamoah is just a different style. Chuck says he failed when he punched Donovan Jackson. Yeah. Could lead to it. Yes, G-Mac, they are. And I don't think it's so much. They've been in the sport for a long time, but it's generally, guys like Garth Brooks, that was an injured football player, became a cheerleader, or gymnasts. Lots of those guys would do it because they were too small generally to make the football team, so they became cheerleaders. And I guess it was a great spot. You got firsthand looks. But anyways, G-Mac, have you polled people on this channel to see if it's an issue? What's an issue? Oh, the cheerleader. No, I'm not bringing that up. I hope he lives his best life. I don't have to watch it. So it is what it is. Now, that is it for today. We do have some stuff coming up, though. Monday, of course, we will have the Real Forno show, and I haven't a clue what Tyler wants to talk about. He'll talk about the game, obviously. But what else, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We covered today J.J. McCarthy's progress during the joints. We covered the game, and we covered what's happened in Vikingsland. The season opener with Chicago is just weeks away. We can't wait. I want to see Caleb Evans wrapped up in a tiny ball, whimpering for his mother. We'll see. We'll see if there's any trades in the future, both for wide receiver or backup quarterback or whatever it is. So, and I agree, Doc. We hardly see him anymore. They don't show him on TV because it's too objective. What is it? Not objective. Objectifying. I like him. Always have. But anyways, I want to thank everybody who's being here. You guys absolutely freaking rock. I love you guys. And again, if you can't make SKOL Fest, go over to Rap, Vocal Vike on YouTube. Get the link. Check out these fancy t-shirts. They're cool. Very nice. And Darren will be back next week, and we'll talk about the preseason game 3 with the Titans, and we'll go over our final 53 to compete with Tyler's final 53, and let's see who wins this year. Darren and I beat Tyler last year, so let's see. And with that, what do we say, gentlemen? Ladies? Always. SKOL Vikings! Like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and rate us on your favorite podcast aggregator. Darren and Dave, thank you for watching this episode of Two Old Bloggers. We look forward to seeing you on every show on the new Vikings First and SKOL. You can find our podcasts as part of the Fans First Sports Network. Sports takes for the fan, from the fan. Thanks, Mafia. SKOL, everybody!